Stadium this evening, this warm September evening here in Lincoln for a high-powered non-conference matchup. The Nebraska Huskers welcome in the Portland Pilots this evening, the undefeated Portland Pilots. Peyton Thomas alongside Max Meyer. Max, I mentioned it was a warm evening. Expect to see lots of squad rotation and maybe a water break in each half.
I definitely expect to see lots of water breaks here, Peyton. Definitely going to be a hot one. Kickoff about to be 90 degrees, as well as a slight breeze coming out of the south. That's definitely going to have an impact on this game.
Portland resets. They bring it around the back. There's Ash. Pushes it forward and intended for Adams. Now goes back wide for Ash. Now here's Ash on Robbie. Ash right past Robbie with the hesitation. Tries to whip it in. Dealt with by the Huskers defensively. Peterson back to Robbie. And Robbie fully clears up to Dale. Dale trying to settle on it like the target forward, but loses out to a closing in Sophia Matthijs.
That was a great play by Ash there on the wing, coming up on Reagan Robbie, who's probably not used to defending as much in that attacking mid or winger style of role.
Here's the Huskers working into the box. It's Schwartz, and cleared away by one of the Pilots' defenders. And there was a foul on Schwartz before the clearance came, which will give a free kick, defensive free kick to Bree Norris.
You liked what you're seeing, though, from the Huskers early on, being very aggressive, trying to push up field. Even though there's a foul or two, they're being very aggressive up front.
A chance to breathe as Norris will boot it into the Lincoln sky, wind against her. Dale flicks it on towards Peterson as weight settles on it. Now Schwartz. Hawk, Portland, making Nebraska work for every touch of the ball, and it's headed away.
Very good job there by Nebraska to recycle, not just try and boot the ball upfield right away. They were able to reset, drop back in possession, and then look for that ball over the top.
Zaid breaking forward with her speed. She hurdles over a defender and whips it in from the right side. Couple bodies. Dale at the top of the six falls to Weber. Weber, no mistakes at the back post. She finishes and opens the scoring for Nebraska 6 minutes in. Nebraska lead 1-0 over Portland. She certainly looks poised for a freshman in the minutes that she's gotten so far. One of the surprises, at least somewhat, for Nebraska, and really could be a mainstay in that midfield for a long time if she continues in the good vein of form that she has found early on.
I'm sure they're not upset if she's going to be a mainstay in that midfield for the Huskers. Just as a freshman, she has a long career here to go.
Well, we mentioned it earlier that she had taken the starting spot from a sophomore, Florence Belzeal, who was a bench player last year, rotated in, got a handful of minutes here or there for Nebraska, then started in the midfield this year. Well, she was actually a teammate of Sadie Waite at U17 Canadian Women's Youth National Team camp, so Waite overtakes her former and current teammate as this one squirts in from the free kick about 30 yards out. A defensive mishap from the Nebraska back line and Sammy Hawk as it just dribbles in. That's unbelievable, Max.
Wow, what a finish that was. The perfectly placed free kick from her, and it just rolled through the entire back line. Didn't look like it came off a touch whatsoever, and it's 1-0 to the Pilots.
And it's the set-piece specialist, Sophia Matthijs, who gets her second career goal, her first of the season, from 30 yards out on a knuckling free kick that never was more than 5 or 6 feet off the ground. To NCAA soccer here on Big Ten Plus, Peyton Thomas alongside Max Meyer. Max, Portland undefeated on the season through 4 matches. They storm into Lincoln and take an opening lead here in the first half. It was Sophia Matthijs on the free kick that opened up the scoring, and really a complete 45 minutes for the Portland Pilots. Now it's Schwartz again, Robbie, and another misplaced pass for Nebraska as they try to move forward. Off Schwartz. She didn't know much about it, but it fell to Dale. Now Zaid picking it away clean. Schwartz, the quick feet. Turner beat her to it. Peterson lets it go. Still fighting for it, but loses out eventually. Now here's Doctor. Keely Doctor is one-on-one with Jordan Zaid on the near side. Still Doctor, who punches it out for a Nebraska throw. Coming off the bench, she had a couple of starts earlier on in the year. The redshirt freshman, she had utilized that redshirt year last year. has been a routine starter since then. Zaid, the front flip throw from a defensive position as she tries to advance the Nebraska attack.
Don't see that one very often from the defensive third.
Hawk heads it on, turnover, top of the 18, blasted in by Kayla Adams. What a strike from the top of the 18 as Portland doubles their lead 10 minutes into the second half. It was a near post finish from Adams, who beats Hawk with pure power. Welcome into the Bob Devaney Sports Complex for the finale of the Emeritus Players Challenge between the top-ranked Nebraska Cornhuskers and the Pepperdine Waves. I'm Peyton Thomas alongside Marco Yurkovich. Marco, pleasure to be here with you this evening. The other two teams in this competition, Texas A&M Corpus Christi and Tulsa, well, these two teams only dropped one set combined to those two opponents. It came in the fashion of Pepperdine's 4-set victory over Tulsa yesterday. Both of those two teams have already taken off, this being the finale. I think that alludes to the high level of volleyball that we're going to see on the floor tonight. It's Pepperdine hanging right with the nationally ranked Cornhuskers, and really it's been down to playing clean volleyball.
Absolutely. Obviously, Pepperdine has made their fair share of mistakes, and that's just more under the magnifying glass as the underdog. You know, you feel like you can't make any mistakes, but Nebraska with 9 errors, but you can see both teams really struggling here, hitting below 100 on the evening. Just some sloppy volleyball overall, I think, from both teams, but also some great blocking.
Slim margins will decide set number 1. It's knotted up at 22. And here's Kennedy Orr. Zelaya on the far side. It dances along the net and falls to Polk. The freshman, Shemitis, over the line, out of play, point Nebraska, as they take a crucial 1-point lead.
Oh boy, that was really close. Both teams kind of looking over at the line judge here. You'll see at the end, as neither team is quite sure where that went, but Husker fans definitely happy with it as they finally regain the lead here and look to close out set number 1.
Shemitis so close to the cross-court kill. Instead it remains with Orr, and another crucial service error as Orr goes long. And once again, we're knotted up, Marco.
Yeah, Nebraska with now double-digit errors for the first time double-digit errors in a set for the first time this season. Not a great way to be starting off here in set number 1.
Now here's Kaylee Hames. Of course, like we talked about in the pregame, sister of Nicklin Hames. Lonstein did not have the touch as she cut it past the left line, the far line from the point of the broadcast. And now Pepperdine 1 point away from taking set number 1 in Lincoln. And John Cook wants the chance to talk it over before this crucial play. Like we said, 10 blocks in a college debut. How about that for making your name known early on?
That's quite impressive.
All right, here we go. Chance to win the set, close it out,
and
to open up the night.
Hames. It's the other Hames you wouldn't expect to be closing out the set here.
Back set to Crosby. Important swing, dug up, laid up towards Chillingworth, Rodriguez. Now here's Lonstein. She finds the floor, pushing it around the blockers with some finesse. And here we go again. 24 apiece here in set number 1.
A great court vision by Lowenstein, finding the hole there, and you can see last diving attempt by Patterson, not there in time, as she has the great court vision to put that one away.
Well, I know we were chatting in the pregame, Marco. We could be in for a great one tonight, and it's certainly shaping up that way early on. Now Knuckles. Back set right up the middle for Polk, and the first big impact of the night from Caitlin Horde. Set point here in the Bob.
Yeah, just a missed swing here by Polk. Tries to get as much under it as possible and hits this one way too low, right into the middle of the net. And that's going to force a timeout here by Pepperdine.
Yes,
so we're out of timeouts.
Yes, it will, and we will take a short break and return after this timeout. Nebraska leading 25-24 in the opening set. Welcome back to NCAA volleyball. Early in the season, Nebraska against Pepperdine. Marco, a big missed opportunity there for Pepperdine. Walk us through it.
Yeah, we see here off the set, Polk just trying to get a lot of power under it, having a great set here against Nebraska. Just hits it way too low, mid-net, and it's a huge mistake for Pepperdine, as now It's set point for Nebraska as they look to steal one after a very shoddy performance.
Bob Devaney Center on their feet for the first time tonight. Kenzie Knuckles looking to put it away. Controlled by Pepperdine, dumped over the top. Here's Lonstein. Polk through the middle, misses. Adversity through some difficult times. Double-digit errors for the Huskers, but they overcome it as the #1 team in the country takes the opening set against the Pepperdine Waves. By Gorlinger. Out to Dunn. Sliding challenge from Peterson wins the ball back. Now here's Nebraska moving in transition. Peterson on the left side, she goes down, pushed down, foul by Dunn. Indirect wide free kick. Dangerous position though for Nebraska.
Yeah, and Peterson really doing well there to win that ball back in such nice fashion and kind of leaning into the defender to win that foul. It's just really smart from Peterson there.
Peterson is stuck out once again for the Huskers. Definitely some contact on her way down. But how about the effort, the sliding effort from Peterson to win the ball back in the first place for the Huskers? Caught the Wildcats out of position, forced that foul. Now we see a couple of Huskers standing over the free kick from left to right. It's Weber, Lane, and Robbie. So we have the in-swinging option of Lane, who doesn't hit it correctly, punched back out. Robbie top of the box. She's not afraid to let it fly. Still Robbie. Robbie wide to Zaid. Zaid, heavy touch towards the byline, punches it into the middle, and it's deflected into the back of the net. The opener for the Huskers. As the own goal comes in the 61st minute to put Nebraska ahead, it was Jordan Zaid using her speed and her touch to work into the Arizona box. She punches it into the mixer, and it was off the left hip of Rice.